So Matt, we've seen this whole place now literally have like redone everything except for like the four walls. But even those you you fixed a lot of the walls outside too.
Mhm.
So what did you buy it for, and what did it cost to do all this?
Okay, so the initial purchase, I bought this property for 6 grand last year. It was something that you wouldn't even want to go into for sure. It looked like it should have been on the tear down list. I sat on it for a couple of months, kind of came up with a plan, kind of when the weather broke, and right now to date we're just about to crack probably 40,000. We might be a little bit over when it's said and done, maybe 41, 42. But of course, those costs are associated with, just kind of understanding and knowing what was important, shopping the materials, trying to get the best deals on those certain things, making certain decisions, and kind of even having some connections along the way. Like I got the windows for a great price, and I got them much faster than anybody else would get them. And just trying to help some people kind of along the way that needs a job, needs work, and kind of keeping those going. Like I explained, like this is kind of my B team, but I really, really take a lot of pride in, giving those guys work and keeping them busy and, keeping them excited on things that they're doing so they can take some pride in what they're doing. And sometimes those guys can't do like the higher end stuff that I do, they just really can't. But, it gives them a sense of pride to say they're working on something nice too. So it kind of works out. Definitely cut some costs there, for sure. Because I know that's not what you're going to get on the street as far as pricing. But, it can be done. It can be done.
So 40, so 6K and plus 41, 42, so 40, 48 ish. And then what is this valued at now?
I haven't had it appraised. Just comps in the area when I ran it, probably somewhere around 92 to 95. Right around that 90 because it is a 3 bedroom. But because we did so much work, I would kind of say somewhere in there. End up selling it for 80, so we left the investor with a little bit of equity too. I always like that too on the back end. I've been in that thing before where I bought a property, maxed out all the equity, and didn't really know it in my younger days. So it's not a good thing. You love somebody to tell you, like, leave a couple bucks of equity in here in case something goes wrong. But the most thing I'm impressed about was the timeline on this one. We were probably about 2 months and about 2.5 months on this one, from start to rehab to finish to the rehab, and that's an excellent timeline for so much work we had to do. Had some delays with the rain and all that type of stuff, a lot of outside work, but it all kind of came together and started to work out.
So in like 10 weeks, start to finish, like literally built practically a brand new house.
Yep. So the way we kind of go about it, when I was kind of rounding halfway, we started to shop it to the buyer, got it under the contract. They normally kind of just wait for us to close and, make it a thing.
Cool. And what would you say to someone who's maybe sitting on some equity in their house, or they got some cash they have to invest? Like, what would you want to tell them?
Really, I always look at it as, kind of making money when you sleep, and if you got something that you could put your money into that's maybe solid, and it's not so up and down, maybe like the stock market or like, some of those things that maybe move a little slower, I was taught real estate is the best thing to invest in the first basis on financial freedom. So if somebody wanted to, if somebody had some money kind of sitting, the best places to put it is in real estate, and preferably, if you ask me, it's going to be Cleveland real estate, because it's really, really, really tough to find, to compete against these prices, and it's really, really tough to find a town that still has a big enough economy to support those rentals and those turnkey properties. That means we have to have people with jobs. We got to have people, working class and things like that that can afford that rent. And I think that will always be ongoing in Cleveland, and that's what makes Cleveland great. It's kind of like the hidden secret. I tell everybody, don't tell anybody. It's not the glitz and glamour of LA or Miami or Atlanta or anything like that. But it will always be solid, and it always has been to me. It really, really has, because you'll always be able to find a cheap property, get it back up to value, and make some money in the city of Cleveland. And then you buy the water, so you get to enjoy the summers, not the winters. But that has always been special to me. It's kind of like the hidden gem. I think we grow gold when it comes to real estate to somebody, especially people who you know, who are maybe even a little intimidated by the bigger deals, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of get to assess their risk factors, you know what I mean, a little differently.
That's something with these price points. I know a lot of people that they're like, "Ugh, if you're talking $100,000, $200,000, like, it gets risky, and they're not sure about that." But if you're saying $65,000, like $65,000 purchases the place 100% and all of the rehab. This is like insane. You don't have to like borrow, from a bigger other lender. Like you can literally purchase and fund all of the rehab for 65,000, right?
Yeah, I think the market is definitely getting a little tougher now, but that has been like kind of a motto that I've been working off with some of these guys, specifically because, just really trying to revitalize certain neighborhoods and taking that one property that looks like it's going to be torn down, nobody wants it, it's the ugly duckling, actually being challenged and actually making something out of it. That's the fun part for me, Yes, it's really, really easy to go get a property in Cleveland Heights for 80, 100,000, go put 50,000 into it and sell it. Great, and I love that too, as you can see. But down here, I think you take a different type of. The neighbors, definitely appreciate it, a little bit more. We stay out of point of sale and inspections if we can. That doesn't slow us down here. And like I said, we got to take some pride. And because the whole inner city of Cleveland is being rejuvenated and revitalized right now. You could see it, you go up a couple streets, they got houses for $300,000-$400,000 now. It's crazy, but with the hospitals and with a different market coming to Cleveland and being in Cleveland with the hospitals, I think it's, it's just a smart thing, because we're going to look back in 10 years and we're not going to be able to afford a property in the city of Cleveland no more. I know it. We're seeing it right now. We're seeing it right now, and it's not going to be the same. You're not going to be able to go to these little cubby holes and boroughs and really be able to make a profit and help out, because it's going to be over with, and all this stuff is going to rise in value. The closer you are to the hospitals, is going to be everything, and we're going to have to concentrate in the suburbs, solely with those point of sale cities and dealing with inspections and dealing with those holdups. And I'm not against them, but I'm all about volume a lot of times. So we don't fall in love with any property. We just want to make a good home for the tenant, make a decent investment for the investor, put some people to work on the construction side and the rehab side, see a finished product, and make some money while we're doing it. So that's always kind of been my motto. Everybody's got to win. It's not a good deal unless everybody wins, And I've been in those situations where people want to take all the equity out of a home or gouge the price and all that type of stuff. It doesn't last, So I'm all about creating relationships, and everybody's got to win in those relationships for sure.
And what's the name of your company?
It's called Golden Circle Holdings.
And where did that come from?
Funny story, as you know, and I told you, I used to be in the Kirby business. I'm a retired Kirby distributor. I enjoy Kirby thoroughly.
For those that don't know what Kirby is, what is Kirby?
Kirby Vacuums, 100-year-old company. Was owned by Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway. They just sold it maybe about a year or so ago. And the highest level for a distributor is called Golden Circle, and that's when you're selling a certain amount a year. And that was always my goal. I named my company after that. It was kind of like a prestigious thing when you're really, really doing some great business, So I just kind of carried it on. I love, kind of what it means to me, as far as just, reaching your potential and reaching that peak and really having a pulse on your business and taking some pride in it and kind of going for the gusto. It's not about money all the time. It's about competing, and sometimes you're competing with yourself. Most of the time you are, but just having that joy. As my dad used to teach me all the time, he said, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I really, really took that to heart, so I try to kind of model everything after, chasing a goal, kind of like a sport. I'm a real big sports fan, so, I know those guys get paid for winning the championship, but they want to say they're the champion. They're not thinking about the money, championship night.
Pride,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. So same thing for me, for sure.
Wow, that's awesome. Great. Well, this has been awesome tour. Thanks for showing us the place. And if people want to get in touch with you, how should they get in touch with you?
Call Justin.
Call me. That's right. CS 909-240-7493 is how you get in touch with Matt. Awesome. And and also justintimepropertiesllc@gmail.com for email. But just give me a ring. Let's talk about investing here in Cleveland with Golden Circle and Matt. Awesome. Take care.